Hyderabad's startup ecosystem is attracting record levels of foreign investment through T-Hub, V-Hub, and the High-Tech City Corridor. But alongside this growth, FEMA compliance mistakes are becoming increasingly common. In this presentation, we'll look at the most critical FDI and ECB mistakes founders are making in 2026 and how to avoid them. Why Hyderabad startups have the highest FEMA risk right now? Hyderabad is now one of India's leading destinations for foreign investment. Every funding round creates mandatory FEMA filing obligations, and these deadlines begin the moment shares are allotted. Missing filings such as FCGPR, FLA returns, and Form ECB creates separate compliance violations. With FEMA becoming an enforcement priority in 2026, startups cannot afford to ignore these timelines. ECB mistake, treating a foreign shareholder loan as FDI. One of the biggest misconceptions is treating a foreign shareholder loan as FDI. It isn't. A shareholder loan is classified as an external commercial borrowing and follows a completely different compliance framework. Form ECB must be filed before any funds are drawn, an RBI loan registration number must be obtained, and drawing funds without completing these requirements is a FEMA violation. FDI mistake 1. Missing the FCGPR deadline. Form FCGPR must be filed within 30 days of share allotment, not from the date the funds are received. Many founders assume their advisor is handling the filing or delay it until the funding round is complete. RBI also requires investor KYC, a valid valuation certificate, and an FIRC before FCGPR can be submitted. Missing any of these requirements can lead to compounding proceedings. FDI mistake 2. Incorrect share valuation. Shares issued foreign investors cannot be allotted below fair market value under FEMA pricing guidelines. Using an outdated valuation report, relying on an internal valuation that doesn't meet SEBI requirements, or skipping valuation for smaller investment rounds can create both FEMA and income tax implications. Every allotment requires a fresh and compliant valuation. FLA return and FIRC. The FLA return is mandatory for every company that has received FDI or made ODI, regardless of the investment amount, and it must be filed every year by the prescribed deadline. Equally important is the Foreign Inward Remittance Certificate or FIRC. Without an accurate FIRC issued by your AD bank, FCGPR cannot be completed, and mismatches often lead to filing rejections. Real cases from public record. There are no hypothetical situations, they are actual enforcement cases. Companies such as Byju's, Nearby India, Winzo, and Deccan Digital Networks faced investigations, compounding orders, penalties, and prolonged enforcement proceedings due to FEMA compliance failures. The lesson is simple: filing correctly and on time is significantly less costly than correcting violations later. 2026 FEMA Compliance Checklist. Every funded startup should follow a structured compliance checklist. File FCGPR within 30 days of share allotment, obtain an FIRC or every foreign remittance, submit the annual FLA return if you have received FDI or made ODI, or file Form ECB before drawing on any foreign shareholder loan or bridge debt. Consistent compliance is the best way to reduce regulatory risk. Is your startup's FEMA compliance clean? Ask yourself a few simple questions. Have all your FCGPR filings been completed within 30 days? Have your FLA returns been filed every year? If you've received a foreign shareholder loan, was Form ECB filed and an LRN obtained? If the answer to any of these questions is uncertain, it's time for a compliance review. FEMA advisors help startups navigate FDI, ECB, ODI, RBI reporting, and end-to-end FEMA compliance for companies with confidence. To discuss your FDI, ECB, ODI, RBI reporting, or FEMA compliance for companies, get in touch with FEMA advisors. Call or WhatsApp 9933385556. Visit www.femabyte.com. Email services@femabyte.com. FEMA advisors, simplifying FEMA, amplifying growth.